Hey, want to see my impression of the Republican Party? Roll the clip. Hi there, I'm Elliott C. Morgan, and I'm always right, so you can go on being a dumb little meme-loving millennial liberal because your fave celebs also are POS with no sense of the real world or the pain it will inevitably become you. You think I'm bad just because I figured out how to melt teeth and before that change dental records? Nah, I'm just well-weathered, like a tsunami that takes out Asians, because we can all agree they gotta go. Okay, we're gonna need some clickaroos on this bad boy Juanito, so let's get cracking. Let's see, how to get clicks on the study. We could title it, "A Few Comedians Pretend Two of Them Are Sex Slaves," but that's random and absurd and meaningless and would never somehow relate later in the video. Anyway, this episode will be extra sex related because that's how you get hits on the internet. Like I could tell you that the Tennessee House of Representatives sent a message to the US Supreme Court disagreeing with their decision to legalize gay marriage, because like most things in Tennessee, they'll get to it when they get to it. On Wednesday, Representative Susan Lynn, a Republican from Old Hickory, who was the sponsor of the measure, said that her effort is focused on reminding the Supreme Court about the separation of powers between the legislative and judicial branches of government. I imagine in her head she went on to say, also, butt sex is icky. And let's be clear, by the way, Juan. Butt sex is icky. Normally I would throw in some moderate sounding qualifier here to reveal an inherent homophobia, but I'm not going to, because the least I can do for all those homophobes is to make the non-homophobes, who are of course all homos in some way, feel uncomfortable. So there it is. Butt sex is icky. I'm uncomfortable. I'm just gonna sit in it. We're gonna see how it feels. Speaking of other crap in Tennessee, there's a growing concern that demonic weaves are the root of various hair crimes around Memphis. It's believed that virgin hair from India is changing the behavior of certain women. The story isn't necessarily sex related, but it does make me oddly excited. Robin Ransom, who installs human hair, stated, "They'll come in and get a long hair installed, and when I turn them in the mirror, it's more a, okay girl, but never have I sensed or seen an evil spirit in hair." So it's not super surprising why the subject of our next story is so successful. Donald Trump said there's no real problem with his penis, to which all Democrats responded, "That's basically what we're saying about America." Lee Ann Arthur is a teacher in South Carolina, and she's recently been basically fired. She had nude photos stolen from her phone by a student. Please pay no attention to those moans. The student discovered that Mrs. Arthur's phone was not locked. Mistake number one, Lord, lady, that's like wearing a mini skirt in public, okay? You are asking for trouble. The student went through her phone and found some nude photos that Mrs. Arthur had taken for her husband. The student then texted the teacher and said, quote, "Your day of reckoning is coming." Oh man, that is just like a teenager to be a little piece of crap. Mrs. Arthur has expressed hesitance in regard to even returning to the school, despite a petition started by students to get her job back. She could even face legal consequences for supposedly contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Guys, that teenager lives in South Carolina. He's already a delinquent. Also, the teacher said she's already forgiven the student because that's what adults do. They forgive people. Looking at you, father of three. Yeah, the crosswalk sign did say walk, but my Mercedes G-Wagon didn't. It just said vroom vroom, bitch. Leonardo DiCaprio won an Oscar, but unfortunately no one on the internet's talking about it. And that brings us to today's contractual obligation. This is where I say something. So here we go. No slideshow this time because I need you to really hear me out. Guys, we're about to enter what looks like the most insane political race of our lifetime. I mean, in 2012, we had Barack Obama, a half black guy, versus Mitt Romney, a half guy. Now we have Donald Trump, who is so captivating because no joke about him or commentary on him is as interesting as him. Seriously, no joke I can make or anyone can make, whether it's the great Jon Stewart or John Oliver or John frickin' Green, Trump is more captivating than all of us. But that's beside the point. The reality here is that looking across the aisle is just as important in our own minds as it is in Congress. If you're a liberal, talk one-on-one with a conservative. Don't text them. Most of them can't read. If you're a conservative, be patient with your liberal friends. Most of them don't really know how stuff actually works. They don't get that we're right, both figuratively and literally. They accuse us of being emotional when we're actually staunchly pragmatic. We'd nuke Antarctica if there was oil under it. The bottom line is that politicians and even people are, for the most part, good at their core. I think it's important to remember that. All people are. All people, myself included, are simply doing their best. We're trying to present news in a way that's fair and balanced and loving and honest, you know what I mean?
Here is it.
Am I crass at times on the study? Sure, absolutely. Am I rough around the edges? Absolutely. But I mean no harm. I am Elliott C. Morgan, a member of the 1% of the 1%. I am a good person.
You do right there to us. It's fucked up!
Everyone deserves a second chance. Thank you for watching the study, and remember, everyone is just doing the best that they can under all of the different circumstances. We'll go ahead, we'll retake this one again. Juan, let's definitely burn this footage, make sure this doesn't end up on the internet. Get back in the room. Go, 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 get back in. Nope. Nope, hey, you fit.
Hey!
that allowed? She's gonna be f***ing great though. All right, it's your loss.
I'm going through some anxiety personally.
Oh.